They're calling it a Fox Sports sausage party. So FS1's making some changes to their daily sports lineup. First things first. Y'all see what I did there? How about first things first getting a new time slot? First things first is moving now from those morning spots, and it will now be after Undisputed and The Herd. So first things first is not pretty much like the third or fourth thing first now. It's moving down a couple hours in its time slot. It'll still have Nick Wright. It'll still have Chris Broussard, and it will have Kevin Wilds. It's worth noting that Jenna Wolf's contract has expired with the show. She will not be on it anymore. I want to talk about that in a second, but real quick, let's keep it rolling. How about Joy Taylor leaving The Herd, Colin Cowherd's show, and she's going to be now pretty much a moderator and giving her perspective for Speak, formerly known as Speak for Yourself. It was co-hosted by Marcellus Wiley and Emmanuel Ocho, but now it will be Joy Taylor, Emmanuel Ocho, and how about former running back LaShawn McCoy in the building for Speak? Marcellus Wiley's contract also has expired with FS1, so he's out of the door. Remember, keep in mind how things kind of come around full spectrum. Colin Cowherd was the guy who started Speak for Yourself way back yonder with Jason Whitlock. Then Marcellus came in, and now all those gentlemen are out, and now Colin's moderator for his show is leaving him to go be on a new show that's called Speak. So it's not Speak for Yourself anymore. It's called Speak. It's going to be an NFL-based show. And for Colin, I'm sure he's going to get a new lady in permanently. But for right now, it looks like Jason McIntyre has been doing a lot of the moderating. I like doing things like this because I am a content creator, but I also consume content. And I do believe FS1 has probably the best cast of personalities in the mainstream spectrum. I do believe they're doing a better job at personalities than ESPN, but ESPN's got so many different business relationships. It is tough for them to compete with Fox for a lot of different reasons, so I don't chalk it to the game, the ESPN, but I like letting people know where I'm at with it. If you remember, we did a video about a year or two ago, and I told y'all about First Things First. I said I really like the show with Chris Broussard and Nick Wright, but I did tell y'all then Kevin Wilds is going to take that spot from Jenna Wolf. It was no point to have two moderators essentially on the show. Kevin sometimes giving his perspective, but more times than not, he was just a guy that could moderate when Jenna wasn't in. So I knew her time was coming to an end. I hate to say it like that, but I think we called that on a video a year or two ago. I'm not surprised there. Marcellus Wiley was a guy who, I just didn't like me personally, I didn't like the product anymore. I believe Emmanuel Ocho is the guy that they want to be one of the faces of the company going forward. Ocho is a very well-spoken man. It definitely helps that he's a black man. Let's call a spade a spade. Former NFL player, incredibly great shape. He's marketable. He's a guy that you can use as a part of your team for years to come. Trust me, they got big plans for Ocho. That's my guess. I don't know anything about anything. Obviously, Undisputed is going to pretty much, I think there's like some show called The Carlton Show. That's not going to draw any ratings. Undisputed is what gets people oftentimes to the television screens for FS1. As long as you got Skip Bayless and obviously Shannon Sharp, you want that to be your day starter pretty much now. And then Colin is a guy that can always keep audiences around, and he'll lead you into Chris Broussard and Nick Wright. My guess is that is going to be a heavily NBA talked about program. It's going to be heavy on NBA. I'm sure they're going to still talk football, but trust and believe they're going to talk a lot of NBA, and then that'll lead you into Speak. That'll be the heavy NFL program. So, yeah, that's the latest. Y'all let me know what y'all think about some of these changes that FS1 has made recently. Not a lot of women representation. And you know what's crazy about this? Because I used to work at ESPN. If there are pretty much only men in front of the camera, do you know how many men are behind the scenes? Like, it's not a lot of women in production of sports as is. Keep that in mind. Let alone when you add in the fact that there are a lot of men in front of the camera already, like pretty much all men, 85, 88% men in front of their cameras. Can you imagine how many men are the researchers and all that? People don't know that these positions are real things. Like, these talents don't get on air and just talk sports randomly. They got researchers, producers, people that create the highlights and all that stuff. it is a lot of men at FS1. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of men at FS1. I want to thank you guys so much for the time, love, and support. Let me know what you're watching. Do you like FS1? Do you think their personalities are overrated, underrated? Who's your favorite over at FS1? Talk to me. Let me know what content you like to consume. I know you're rocking out with your boy FERRO, but I'm a human that consumes as much as I create. So let me know what you're into. Thank y'all so much. Time, love, support. It's what your boy will never take for granted around here. I'm out.